Let's move on to some recruiting news, guys. The month of July just keeps rolling. It's the last week of July, and I bet you right now the haters are praying for the month to end because they don't want OU to keep this train rolling right now on the recruiting trail. They signed, or not signed, that is incorrect. They got a commitment from Jasiah Wagoner, 4-star cornerback. He's 5'11", 170. OU beat out Texas, Oregon, and Cal for the kid. That's a big get for Brent Venables' staff, because that is a good-sized cornerback, and I'm very happy about it. And with that commitment, Oklahoma moves in to 7th in the 247, 24/7, whatever it is, composite recruiting rankings. They are rolling right now.
Rolling.
How's everybody feeling? We got the last week of July right here.
I feel great. 6 weeks ago, the world was crumbling, but now I feel great.
Right. And like, that's what the thing is like, that's what they told. That's what all the like recruiting experts
told us.
Yep. Yeah. They were like, July is what it is. That's what the staff is hanging their hat on. And that's what they think is going to happen. And it's all worked out so far. Like, I'm sure they've missed 90, on a couple, but
it's like 90% defense.
Yeah.
Like,
I was about to say
so
this list
excited.
this list doesn't include Derek LeBlanc, who has been crystal balled to us a couple of times by a couple different people.
Yeah.
And between him and I don't want to skip on the next one, but if we get the next guy too, I mean, we are looking at something big here on this recruiting rankings.
And we can go ahead and mention the guy that Mark was alluding to right there. Makari Vickers is a 4-star cornerback. He is set to announce his commitment on August 26th at halftime of his high school football game. I think that's kind of odd, but that's when he's going to do it. And he's between OU, Alabama, and Michigan. The guy is from Florida. Parker Thune of 247 has him crystal balled to OU, like Mark said. So that is potentially 2 4-star cornerbacks within a month of each other. That'd be massive for Brent's staff. Go ahead, Pat.
You're muted.
If you would have told me this in January of this year, that we were going to be 7th in the nation for our 2023 recruiting class and 2 huge quarterbacks could be potentially coming to OU, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are, and I'm absolutely loving every second of it.
Matt?
I think
I'll say it again.
Oh, gosh.
This will be the 3rd time.
Wow.
For you listeners, what have I been saying?
Hockey is a sport.
Hockey is a sport. That is true. But patience,
you play a lot of tennis.
I played tennis.
Yeah.
That is true. But patience is a virtue. This
you
is
really
exactly
like ambition. Ambition is you're a fan of ambition.
I like patience because this is exactly
on fire.
All right, let's just table this conversation.
Hey guys, what does Matt always say?
I say patience is a virtue. This is the 3rd time I'm saying it, and it just fits the bill. This is exactly what BV said, that he wants guys to go visit other schools, and when they're ready to make a commitment and sign and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to be on campus. I'm going to be an Oklahoma football Sooner. This is what we've been waiting for. And it did take some time, but now we're reaping the rewards of seeing these guys commit. And again, is it 90% on the defensive side? That's kind of what we expected, a more cultural shift to what BV is known for, being a defensive-minded guy. I love to see it. We're going to continue to be patient, see some of these guys come up. Super excited about LeBlanc and Vickers, all these guys. We're hot, baby. I absolutely love it.
Ryan?
I think LeBlanc, he commits Friday. I'm pretty sure it's the 29th.
Yeah,
So-
I think you're correct. I think it's pretty quick.
So I think we'll know something soon.
Yeah, we'll know something on LeBlanc soon. But also, I wanted to mention this. We've made the point about the defense. There's a lot of defensive recruits that are committing, and I think we'll see more offensive recruits roll in once the recruits see what this Jeff Lebby offense looks like on the field. I think you understand what a Brent Venables defense is going to be, especially with the staff that he has around him on the defensive side of the ball. These are guys that Brent knows and trusts and can preach his philosophy. Lebby's coming in. He's a new face, and people don't really know what it's going to be at OU yet. And I think it's going to be electric. I think it's going to be great. He's done nothing but prove his worth wherever he's landed. But I think once you see Dylan Gabriel and that offense blow up during the season, more guys are going to be like, you know what they're doing at OU on offense too is pretty sick. I think I'm going to sign up for that.
So
Mark?
What's funny, as you guys were talking about it, I pulled up our recruiting class, and I think some of it is we're just a little bit blindsided by how good the defensive class is shaping up to be, because I'm just going to read you some of our offensive guys. According to 247, the number 5 quarterback in the country, Jackson Arnold, the number 9 receiver in the country, Jaquez Petaway, the number 11 guard in the country, or tackle, I guess, in the country, Caden Green, the number 12 running back in the country, Dalen Smothers, the number 26 running back in the country, Caleb Hicks, the number 51 receiver in the country, Keon Brown. I'm not going to keep going. I said a lot. We've got a lot of those guys, and we've got, like, think about the receiver position. We've got 2 big guys coming in. Think about all the receivers we already have on campus. Think about all the running backs we already have on campus. If anything, I would love to see another offensive lineman or 2, but we've actually talked about how there's some guys lower on this list. I actually see Joshua Bates right here, that, Howland that we've talked about, that we trust Bedenbaugh to pick and choose the guys he needs. And, I'm happy with it. I think we got a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to get much bigger than that.
I think part of it is just all of the like big name commits lately have been on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like and you could say, Caden Green is a guy who's been recent, and you can also throw in Petaway as a guy who's been recent as well on the offensive side of the ball. But it just feels like the defensive train just keeps like rolling in guys. So you're right. It could be recency bias. We just hear all these defensive guys and that's what we think.
Well, and I think it's absolutely recency bias, but in a way that, like, we're not used to getting recruits like this on the defensive side. Not in the last 3, 4, or 5 years, at least. Like, we're very used to seeing, the 5-star quarterbacks, the 5-star wide receivers. Like, that has been pretty much like what we've been dealing with for several years now. And so now we're getting these 4-star linebackers and all of this, and we're like, whoa, this is different. This is a change. And that's exciting.
Josh McQuiston of Sooner Scoop said that OU has a chance to sign their best defensive class in a decade. And that's saying something.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Hey, before we move on, did y'all see the news that OU broke its all-time fundraising record?
Yes.
It was amazing.
I think it was Eddie Radosevich who had a screenshot of a President Harrow's quote from when Lincoln stepped down. And he was asked about it affecting fundraising and the ability to raise capital. And he was like, well, if we play it right, what I'm hearing from donors is this is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And could actually prove to be a benefit. And look where we are now. Future's bright as the sun.
Mm-hmm. They didn't just break that record. They shattered it.
Yeah.
It was like, it went from like 243 million last year to like 320 this year or something like that. Those numbers are probably wrong, but like somewhere around there.
And that's
crazy.
And that's university wide, but you have to think like what brings in the most donations.
Yeah, for sure.
Football, baby. Especially going to the SEC. Brent Venables put the call out and the donors have answered. We love to see it. All part of the program.